want people to leave this session knowing more about how to approach their work when they are with workers on the front line.
Yeah.
I want them to be educated through your narrative. So you're sharing not from what you read, but what you do and what you see in your daily life on the front line. All right, let's start. I know you're ready. Welcome to the Social Work Race, guys. I've got Andrew Fuller with me. A man definitely on the front of the front line. So when we're working with people who have got serious challenges in society, in their homes, in their lives, Andrew is on the front of the front line. People who get to lay their hands on a daily basis with those who need support. You're that guy. So I'm gonna, just before we introduce you, I just want to thank anyone who's watching right now for coming on the show, The Social Work Race. This is where we have discussions about what it's like on the front line, from the highest level of management to those of us who have got their hands on the people. This is the channel for you to help you understand and inform you as a resource for what it is to be on the front line of society.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Andrew, please introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name, as you guys heard, my name's Andrew Fuller. And yeah, first things first, I've been doing youth work. Don't really like the name youth work, but that's what they call it.
Yeah.
But, they call it youth work. I've been doing this thing for probably, forget how long, just know that I've been doing this since I was 16. And you don't have to be in an official title, but my role was official based on the fact that young people always gravitated towards me, and I always saw the need to kind of lead them and influence them on a better road based on where we come from. So it was always get out, teach someone how to get out, stay out, and how to make money without doing this and that. That's youth work, you get me? So when I'm now doing it officially, that's why we have the gold in the industry.
Yeah.
Because people that write theses and doctorates, and they're writing that on us, mate. And what we do, they've not been there, and they don't know about this stuff. And that's why a lot of more of us have to learn the things we have to learn to get into the industry. And we have to be, you know that whole thing, industry trained, media trained. There's a lot of people out there who are great with young people and this frontline work, but they stay at one level simply because they're great with young people, but they don't know how to get themselves to that next level where their resources are going to be more useful. So that's where I am kind of like now, where my current role is at Approve. I am the student intervention manager.
Yeah.
So when it comes down to getting kids on an intervention, on a strategy plan to disrupt behavior patterns, that's what we do. The track record is evident. It's not hearsay or opinion based work, but we put work in to study and to keep ourselves informed so that our interventions have impact.
Yes.
That's the key thing. If there's no impact, then there's no point. I
like what you said, and I think you've hit this off like your mind reading the script. Disrupt behavior patterns. Let's go straight in.
Yeah.
Why did you use that term to disrupt? Now, sorry. Let's before we go into it, what kind of institution do you work in first, so that we can contextualize what we're talking about?
So we're dealing with, in my case, an alternative provision. So, in other terms, a pupil referral unit.
Yeah.
managed moves. You
Yeah.
know, someone wants to get excluded, not wants to, someone's going to be excluded. They
Yeah.
got promise, you know, give them a little trial on the proof.
Yeah.
You know, commission placed. It's not forever. They get back after 6 weeks, hopefully. Then we got the permanently excluded. Then we've got the non-schoolers, you know, they ain't going to school, but they're in the system. They come to us.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. So we're dealing with kids that are already coming. They're already coming to us having trauma again. So forget the trauma they've had already. Being excluded is a form of trauma, as we know.
Yeah.
So they're coming to us like, you know, yeah.
So okay, so now we know where you work. Let's go straight in. Why did you mention the disruption of behavior patterns?
So simply put, like young people in general, but we're dealing with young people. Maths and English ain't the issue. It's not the issue. Like science, you know, the arts, education, academics, that's not really their issue. But there's barriers to learning. There's a lot of barriers to their learning. So we break down if a child is carrying a heavy load, like very heavy, and you give them strenuous work to do, they're going to react. And most of that reaction is seen in their behavior. So how we disrupt the behavior pattern is not by attacking the behavior or even focusing on the behavior. We have to understand that behavior is language. Behavior is a communication, just like French, just like English, just like, you know, a child uses silence. In the silence, that's a language.
They're speaking.
She's telling you something. She's telling you something. Something's not right. Now, bad behavior is penalized by exclusion, which I am not entirely saying is wrong. Of course not. But that's like the go-to. That's our first move. It's like the knee-jerk effect. Bad behavior means kick out, exclusion, expulsion, penalize, detention, isolation, you know, but no one's listening to the behavior. So we have to disturb the behavior. We got to disturb the things that lead up to the behavior, because the issue ain't the behavior. The issue ain't the behavior.
It's interesting because I think unless you look at this in an informed way, it doesn't matter how long you've been working, for example, in your field, in education. It doesn't matter how long you've been a teacher. If you're not truly informed about the children that you have in your hand and what makes them tick, you could be as ignorant as anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, when we were growing up in school, a lot of what we see now didn't exist.
Yeah.
A lot of the understanding that we have now didn't exist. When you were rude, naughty, that's what we used to call it, rude. Yeah. Detention.
That's right.
And a man like me, I got detention. Every couple of weeks I was in detention for like 3-4 years straight.
Wow.
And I walked with that on my shoulders as a man that I couldn't achieve. I was subconsciously dysfunctional. So I have brought this on into my life as a man, as a married man.
Wow.
I'm still carrying school. Now we know better, but it doesn't mean that schools have caught up.
Of course not.
And so, like what you're saying, our young people, they're in school, and although we have teachers who are probably a lot more broadly educated, the young people are still suffering the same thing when they're misunderstood because of their experiences. When you say that Andrew, that a young person, it's not the English or the maths, what are you saying that it is?
So it's like looking at it always look at it simple. If I don't have the money and you see me not eating, right? So think about it, Curtis, right? I don't have the money and you see that I'm not eating. What you're going to say is, you know, you're just not buying food.
Right.
It's clear. Like, you can put your finger on that. Oh, come on, man, he's hungry, but he ain't got the money to buy the food, right? But what do you do, Curtis, when you got all the money in the world and you're starving?
Oi, what are you saying?
So you imagine if I saw a millionaire and he's crying for food, bro. And he's in McDonald's and he's standing in the line, he's got money in his pocket, he's looking at the signs and it says £5, but he doesn't even fathom that. He's got all the money in the world. These broken children, all they see is their trauma. So all they see is their pain, all they feel is their pain. It's all about feelings, how they feel. That's why we teach young people how to manage their feelings and emotions. So when I'm saying it's not education, it's not about the education. They can be rich as can be. But based on the heavy load that they carry daily, the ability to complete education, bro, we ain't got time for that, bro. Did you see what my mum got last night? Did you see what argument I heard last night? So I had an actual intervention. My interventions solely deal with that. They solely deal with helping the young person realize that they are not the problem. It is not. So the trauma is not you. It's not because of you. It's not by you. It's not on you. The trauma is what happened to you. This is what happened to. This is not you. So a lot of people.
Hold on.
Yeah.
These children are making choices.
Yes.
They're trying to, at times, hurt other people.
Yes.
What do you mean when you say it's not you?
It's like we penalize the child for the for the behavior that we saw. The bully. Let's use a bully for example, right?
Yeah.
Remember, Curtis, like, and I've got to be careful because we're not bypassing ill behavior.
Yeah.
If a young man stabs, he goes to jail, but it's the way we handle that scenario, that situation. So even though he goes to jail, we don't just throw him in jail. He has to go to jail. Someone has died. You've taken a life. You chose to do that. Regardless of the trauma, the judicial system can't just say, well, your mum and dad split up, so we're going to give you a pass. It doesn't go like that.
Yeah.
But we must help as well as penalize.
Penalize and rehabilitate.
Yeah, So exclusion, that's my gripe with exclusion. Why are you excluding a child, taking them out of school without giving them an intervention? So all right, cool. I'm not allowed in school.
Yeah.
But what's going to make me better so I'm ready for my return? Because then that just means you're kicking me out to keep the environment. Okay, you've gone now. You know, we can have a little respite from the bully or from the bad man or from the tyrant. But what is happening for the tyrant? So I say that, Curtis, to let everyone know I'm not bypassing bad behavior. What I'm saying is that regardless of what he did or she did, we must understand that there's a story behind the behavior.
Come on.
And that, like I said, if I'm broke and I have not eaten for months and months and months, bro, I might, step out of line if I see someone's left their burger on the table, bro, and they're gone to the toilet and they're coming back to eat that, bro. No one's told me how to manage that, man. No one's taught me how to see that and just be like, yo, because I got the hunger. Just well, I can't really resist the hunger. So when I'm talking about these kids in school, Curtis, bro, they're talking, they're storming out of lessons, they're fighting, bro. Bro, this is just a reaction. These young people are literally searching. They don't know how to manage their behavior, bro. They're crying out for help. They're crying out for attention. They're not, watch this, Curtis, right? And I did this on purpose. It's not that they're crying out for attention, but that's the terminology that we even use in our schools. I've heard this, that how do we deal with the kids that are seeking attention and they do bad stuff to this? They're not seeking attention, they're seeking attachment.
Come on, you got to go there.
Of course, and that's the point, Curtis, right? Attention seeking don't exist. That's just that's
Okay.
a fed up adult's terminology. Oh, you're just attention seeking. Bro, you're just fed up. You're just calling it attention seeking because you're fed up of me. I'm attachment seeking. So when I'm gossiping and I'm spreading rumors and
Yeah.
I'm social media violating and I'm snapping people, because these youth are doing mad stuff, man. They're shaming people. Do you know what? They're attachment seeking. They like it when people are looking at them and following them, and you're the center of attention. What do I need to do to be the center of attention? I'm gonna make the class. I'm gonna make the class laugh. I'm gonna bunk school. I'm gonna go and get some food and come back, and then all of the SLT senior leadership team is gonna be like, "You did this," and everyone's gonna be like, "Wow, you really did it." Attachment seeking. What mum and dad may be failing to do, or carer is failing to give, the child is never going to say, "It's okay, you didn't give it to me. Don't worry though, I'll do without." Children never do without. They will go looking for what you didn't give them. That's a fact.
Fact.
Children do not go without. They will get theirs. They will get theirs
By any means necessary.
by any means necessary. That's a fact. No matter what.
Yeah. Yeah. I like what you're saying. You're saying, you see, you give me too many gems and I got to follow you, right? Attention seeking doesn't exist. So when you're saying that a child is trying to attach to what and why?
So remember, so now we're dealing with attachment theory, right? We're dealing with first 3 years of a child. This is never, there's always exceptions to the rule.
Yep.
All of these philosophical stuff,
Yep.
these great therapists, I take them with a pinch of salt, bro. And I mean that. I love what they say and I love what they do. I love the quotes. I love the depth. I love the fact that they've studied for 100 years. But,
Yep.
bro, I'm telling you guys, man, he who feels it knows it, bro.
Come on.
Most of these things in the books, I promise you, are wise people who have felt these things they're writing about. But because they know it, they get deep and they write about what they know. You've been through many of the things great minds have written about, bro. And that's my confidence to know that attachment theory, even though I've got it from my studies and what I understand from the books, in my language, Curtis, it's very simple, bro. The whole makeup of a mother and a child, a father and a child, is built around attachment. So imagine, Curtis, right? From the womb, attachment. Everything is built around that. Breastfeeding.
Cord.
Attachment. That's right. Like attachment is like someone was big on attachment, Curtis. Someone was adamant that a child when born needs attachment.
Absolutely.
So it's very simple. When that child believes that mommy and daddy doesn't want to be around me, or is one of the biggest traumas, Curtis. People sleep on this.
Come on.
There's a breakup, not just the breakup. People forget, I said breakup, divorce. It's when mommy or daddy introduces another partner. So when that other partner comes in, what naturally happens is they see their mum or their dad overly loving the partner, and they automatically see themselves as the third wheel.
You never show me that.
You see, Curtis.
Yeah.
I'm the third. If a child thinks they're the third wheel, You're done.
Yeah.
They're not going to school to learn. They can't go to school to learn because eating for a child is attachment. So if a child goes to school without eating, he's not going to work. Make sense, guys?
Break that. Break that.
So children need to go to school ready for learning. This is why school is meant to be a place where kids are they're able to come, they're ready for learning. But in my setting, we work in the alternative provision, bro. We deal with the kids that are not ready for learning. This is why we have to know these things because I'm not in the mainstream, bro, or some private school where everyone thinks everything is, the kids are coming, they do the maths and English. Private school looks good, Curtis, because people are getting the grades.
Yeah.
The
Same
suicide
issue.
level is still there.
Same issue.
Depression is still there.
Yeah.
Anxiety is still there,
Yeah.
bro. This is
Yeah.
why I say it's not about the grades.
Yeah.
The grades just get Ofsted outstanding, and then everyone thinks that the issue is mental health. Come on, bro. The issue is what do you mean? Mental health is still alive,
Yeah.
but in that alternative provision, we can see clear as day. These kids have no attachment, bro. So when they're coming in, because we're dealing with young ladies, young girls who are giving themselves up with the boys, who know that they're dogs, who know that they've cheated, who
Yeah.
know that they've been with another girl and another guy, whatever it is.
They have no trust
Not
in
no
these men.
trust,
No
Curtis,
safety. No security.
no security. But bro,
But they're
they'll go
giving it.
back. They'll go back to the same thing because
Yeah.
that's what attachment says.
Yeah.
Attachment says, right, if you don't show your kid or your kids that safety net, that attachment, that I'm here, I'm never leaving, love is found in me, we love you, we adore you, you're amazing, bro. That healthy attachment, the hugs and the kiss and the embrace. Curtis, bro, I said it for the young girls. If a father don't father their daughters, someone else will father them, bro. Same thing with the young boys. That's why they join the gangs. That's why they listen to the elders who talk rubbish. You can't blame them. Everyone's saying, "Oh, we can stop the knives, stop the guns." I'm like, guys, you missed the point, man. You think the issue is knives and guns?
This country has got such a preoccupation with managing symptoms.
That's right. That's it. How does that even make sense?
Taking the guns away, it's nice. Have a gun amnesty. Give me a bin. I'll put my knife in there.
It means
I'll do that.
nothing, Curtis, bro. It means nothing, bro.
You know
Phantom-
that last year
Yeah.
was the worst year for murders in London.
You see?
And
But this is my point.
we've had all these interventions in society,
Yeah, that's it.
and what's happened? The murder rate went up.
But this is the thing, Curtis, yeah? Think about this logically. When you're trauma informed
Yeah,
and you understand, Curtis, yeah, that cheaters go through therapy and change their life, bro. Counseling change people's life, bro. Like, there's so much different levels of therapy, bro. Change people's lives, their outlook. They're blown away by, I didn't even know that's what I was doing. I didn't even know that was happening to me inside. I
Yeah.
didn't even know that's why I was moving like that. Our interventions, guys, yeah, the work that I do, I just seek to show young people, right, what's really happening. And then but before we even get to what's really happening, Preachy tells them, this is what's happening. That's what's happening with you. But when you're dealing with trauma and you know how to present this stuff, Curtis, right? The art of this type of therapy is that we're helping young people, bringing them in an environment, a safe place where they can tell us their story in whatever way they want to tell it. So I set up environments for young people, and I've written a whole book. I think I told you, Curtis, right? I might have not told you, but I've written a whole book of how to engage young people.
What's the name of the book?
101 Behavioral Management. And that book, Curtis, right? Why I know when it releases, the reason why I know it's nothing to do with our pride in that. It was done out of a need. The reason why I know it's gonna fly off the shelf, Curtis, do you know why? Because it wasn't a Google thing. It wasn't even a research thing of, Then you look online or find out who. Nope. I worked with young people for 6 months, and then I wrote this book. So this is facts. When I'm saying this is what works, it's not because I've guessed it. I've been to the lowest of the low, and I've tried out interventions, and these were the managements that worked. So student engagement is first. So now we go there, Curtis, right? It doesn't matter what therapeutic intervention you have. If your student relationship is not there, sit right down. You will always,
let me get what you're saying. Let me get what you're saying.
yes.
The first thing we need to do, because you were just talking about attachment, right? The
Sorry,
first thing we need to you were saying the first thing was attachment. That's what you're talking about.
Yes.
So you're saying if we don't make a psychological, emotional connection with the young person,
you're done. Just forget about it, man. If you're not talking to me there, just come out of it, man. Because who's listening to you, bro? Who's listening to you, sis? Why should I listen to you, bro?
Yeah.
Get down compassion. We deal with something called the compassion theory, right? Paul Gilbert breaks down. This is he coined this, right? The compassion focused therapy, and people don't know this, Curtis, right? Empathy is good, right? People always talk about empathy. Remember, empathy versus sympathy, and people always be like, "We know sympathy is poor. You know, oh, you could have done that though. Yeah, why did you need to spend that money though, man? You could have done better there. You know, sympathy is not what we need. What do we always say? We need empathy. That's not wrong. Empathy is good.
All right.
But based on where we are with these young people, they need something deeper than empathy, and that is compassion. So empathy, right, Curtis, right? And we have to understand this, yeah. Empathy is talking about, I see your pain. I actually see it. I'm at the level of, I can feel it. Like, I'm there with you. Isn't that needed, Curtis? That's good.
Yeah.
But guess what compassion says? The actual definition breaks it down like this, Curtis. Yeah? Compassion is everything empathy is, but it seeks to find solution to get the person out of the mess. So compassion is basically empathy with a strategy. Compassion says, get on my back. We're getting out of here. So my book on behavioral management is literally based on the compassion theory,
which is the solution,
which is
in practice.
Facts. There is no doubt about it. It is a fact. Compassion says this. I see where you are, right? I hear your past. I see where you are, but I speak to your future. So any interaction, any intervention should be speaking to their future selves. This is why we talk with hope only. We shock the system of the young person who is only in damnation and sabotage and self-hate. When they come to Andrew, I am known, Curtis, in my school. I can boldly say this, and people, no one can even deny this. When young people need to see someone, they come to me. Do you know why, Curtis? In my work, I have a mission and tasks and goals for myself. Do you know what my number one goal is? To be the advocate. I must be the advocate. I must be. I tell every intervention worker, every mentor, every LSA, every skills coach, if you work in an alternative provision, if you're a frontline worker, you must try your best. You must do whatever it takes to be the go-to for the young person. If you can just be the go-to, then I can teach people how to intervene with young people. So, because I can teach, I've got interventions that will blow people's minds. Interventions on behavior, interventions on, so I believe I have over 100, Curtis, interventions to date. 100. So Interventions ain't the issue, guys. My 100 plus interventions stand on the compassionate approach. The compassionate approach says, yes, Curtis, because we're from the hood, we do the compassionate approach best because we ain't no pushovers. Isn't it, guys? So we ain't no pushovers. So we can afford to be ultra loving because I ain't no meek. You know what I mean, Curtis? Like I ain't no geek. So I can afford to overly love and to overly smile and overly be kind and happy because I know who I am already. I don't have to be like, I'm not going to be a man. We got to show them hard love. They don't need hard curse. They don't need hard love, bro. They don't need hard love. They don't. They need compassion. Compassion shows them you believe in me. Curtis, I've seen young people, listen to me, bro. I'm 2 minutes into an intervention. The kids are in tears, bro, bawling uncontrollably.
Yeah.
I've seen that like 1,000 times. Sometimes I'll go into interventions and I've got to hold back because I can see the kid about to bawl out in tears. And it's not because I've told them about my hood stories, Curtis, or you know when you get a kid to cry because you're telling them about how, Curtis, guess what's made the kid cry every time?
Go on.
It's when I boost them up. I don't get this. Anyone can get the kids to cry, right? By emotionally dragging them, telling a story. My friend died, or you could die. You could die if you stay on the streets. You could die if you stay out there, and the kid getting emotional. I ain't talking about that. I am proud to say, Curtis, man, that when I see a child burst into tears, it's when I've told them how good they are. I've seen it all the time. Young black boy, I've told him he's a king. I just kept it. I said, you're a king. I said, bro, do you know that you are a king? Like, no. Bro, I said, you're an actual king. I said this. Good or bad behavior, you're a king. I said, prison or no prison, you're a king. I said, gun charge or no gun charge, you're a king. I said, even if you are shackled with this and you had that and you're a king. I said, own this for a fact. You're a king regardless. And your kingship can't be taken away from you. The brother just starts bawling. I said, let that out, my bro, because kings cry. I'm trying to paint another picture for this young brother, letting him know, man, that you're dealing with someone who said no to the roads. I'm not one of them guys, Curtis, that the roads chewed him up and threw him out. I said no to the roads. The roads ain't big enough for me. The roads ain't gangster enough for me. You know the ones, Curtis, where, oh, man left the road, I'm in prison, and I changed now. No, that ain't my story, bro. The roads weren't sending me to prison. The roads weren't cool. The roads weren't cool enough for me. The roads ain't cool enough for me. I'm too man for the roads, Curtis, bro. I'm not. Come on, bro. That's you see the narrative. I'm not that youth worker that goes in with the gang story. I used to be in. Just sit down, man. Like, what do you say to the young person who's been in a bigger gang than you then? How do you reach the young person with the gang story if the young person's killed more people than you? What do you say now?
So what you're showing, you're rewriting.
Yes, our story can't be, when I used to roll in the gangs. Even though you rolled in the gangs, why do you think that should be your story? Why should that be your intervention? Why are you making it about you? It's not about you. It's about them. Curtis, do you know that I stopped telling my street story like 3 years ago. I don't tell it no more. I don't need to. What I tell now is my story of how I outsmarted the streets and of how the streets could not contain me, and that most of these big names on the streets, this is what I can say, they looked up to me, the one who was not on the streets like that. Come on, man. We know if you're on the streets, then you know that the real street brothers, it wasn't that they were the guys. They were just the most hurt, bro. That's all it was. They were just hurt.
Exactly what I was going to say.
You're not a gangster. You're just hurt, bro. You're not a murderer. You're not some bad man. You're just hurt, bro. So you hurt other people to disguise your hurt. That's it. That's all it is. You kill for the man them because all you want to do is please. You've always wanted to please your dad. You've always wanted to please your mum, make your mum happy, but she doesn't care. So you make the roads happy. That's why you lean on the roads, because they praise you when you do things that are naughty, because your mum never praised you for doing good things, and your dad didn't praise you for doing good things, and the school don't praise you for doing good things. Let me tell you a story about these crews, Curtis, right? I've got young boys, right, on awards day, not getting no awards.
What do you
But
mean?
then there's other kids getting awards, and she's getting an award, and he's getting an award, and people say, "Yeah, well, he doesn't deserve an award." Are you out of your
They're
mind?
saying it's in approved, bro.
They're not saying that, but let's say you're in an award ceremony, right? And I'm looking at the young boy in the corner, and he ain't getting no awards. Let me tell you a story, Curtis. Hear the brother, while everyone's giving the awards out, he starts getting mad. You know how these kids are just real. He's like, he's like, what? He's like, no, this is a joke. And I'm watching him, and I'm like, ain't no teacher gonna get the play on this. Isn't any teacher gonna say to themselves,
Wow.
if this boy is not used to getting any work done,
Yeah.
if he just comes into your lesson, guys, give him a certificate for that. Get him into the mindset that I do good stuff, it gets recognized. What we do is we award those according to our standards. So attend lesson for the whole duration, certificate. Get
Straight.
all work done, certificate. My behavior management, Curtis, is I award and reward based on where the student is. It's relative.
It's
So
relative.
if there's a child who is also kicked out of school, two
Yeah.
kids kicked out of school, but there's one child, right, who is super academic, and the other child, he's academic, but he's got a lot more barriers. He's never in class. He's always in class. What happens is the child that's never in class gets bad report, bad report. The child that's always in class gets good report. But the child that's never in class, even though he gets only a bad report, there are some stuff that he does good, but it's never ever recognized. So what he says now, when I try, I don't get nothing. So what's the point? Curtis, that's very big. I'm in the world, I see it. I didn't think that was big. I was thinking, I can't. Curtis, that's big. I've seen people say, yeah, bum going to class. They don't even recognize what I'm doing. It's long. Back to attachment. They're not confident. They're not certified. They're not steady in themselves because they've never been accepted and shown love and been affirmed. So when someone don't affirm them, they quickly lose trust, lose motivation, and then it's a wrap.
They treat you like the people that treat them that way. And so
Yes.
if mum didn't give it, then I'm angry with mum and I'm angry with you
Yes.
because you're showing me the same thing and you're both people of trust and safety.
That's right.
But this is what I get.
So what I say, Curtis, is when they come through the door, write down you got out your bed to come to school, man. On award day, I'm going to give the brother a certificate, man. And watch it,
Cool.
guys. This brother now, back to this second story now, yeah? Same brother, the next term, just finished. I see him get like 4 awards. Curtis, the brother was moving like he won a Grammy. Curtis, yeah? The brother is on things. This is like not no sneaky guy, you know. This is a brother that will on the road, man's jerking up the youths, man's robbing man's on the bad man thing, man's sitting down in class getting a reward. And he's like, oh, Curtis, that showed me that's who he is. That's who he is.
Still a child.
That's right. And compassion keeps them a child. When you think about it, if I treat you without compassion and I'm edgy and I'm penalizing you and I'm excluding you and I'm treating you bad, then they're going to naturally have to be in survival mode. And children shouldn't be in survival mode, Curtis, bro. Because children in survival mode start doing adult things. And doing adult things while you're a child, it wrecks you, bro.
Do you know what? Let me add to what you're saying. If you preach love, no, preach to a child that you care, and then treat them in a way that hurts them, that's exactly what you've just described.
Yeah.
Like, we want the best for you, but when you
Like you
come
treat
in,
them different.
you treat them different. When they mess up, when they express themselves in that way that you just described, and they mess up, I think that's one of the most damaging things
Big time.
that we've seen for people. I think that's one of the biggest things we've seen in churches when it comes to religion, where people who who are in positions of the greatest trust hurt them.
Yeah.
You say, I don't want anything to do with this. And they walk away, hurt. I don't want to go back. Even though there's some good things there, I'm not interested.
That's right.
But when we start to say to these young people, you're the best, you can do it, we want the best for you, and then we show them that. And like you said, give a man a medal for turning up.
Yeah.
Because for some kids, that's the best they could ever do.
That's right. That's right.
And if someone doesn't recognize that, if somebody doesn't recognize that, man, where my home is and how my home is, if people don't understand that, I know I came here today and I could have been doing bare.
That's right.
If someone don't recognize that.
That's it, guys, man. That is it, bro.
I want you to offer some advice. I want you to offer some advice to parents.
Yeah.
Go for it.
So, parents, number one, it's like, first things first, the guilt, the shame, sometimes guilt is good. Let me not run too quick. Sometimes guilt is good if you did something wrong and you're feeling, hey, listen, man, I could have done better. That's when guilt takes you to that place. So I'm not talking about the good guilt that helps parents to be like, you know what, I've got to make a change. I'm talking about the guilt that keeps you wallowing and just fearful that you failed so hard and there's no way out. My first part of the advice is, every other advice is a waste of advice if my first advice isn't, don't beat yourself up. You can't be beating yourself up. If you're beating yourself up, you can't beat yourself up and build your kids up at the same time. That won't work. You have to manage and get over very quickly. It's not easy though.
No.
But you have to forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Be kind to yourself. This is why. Because my advice is no joke. I don't just give advice airy-fairy. Apply it and watch the difference. It's very simple. I promise you. On anything. Children do not learn via words.
No.
Because they don't learn via words, my advice to you is, you have to sincerely, like really seriously understand that if you don't transform, you will transfer. So advice number one, if you are willing and able to forgive yourself, be kind to yourself, love yourself, everything you would want in your child, you have to be doing for you. So when you're arguing, spouses, married, relationship, fighting with another man, with next man, never home, can't even talk to your kids, they ain't got relationship. What kind of advice you gonna want for that? You're just doing what you want to do. What do you mean? Okay, think about it. My advice to them is, no, my advice to you is, what you do as a parent, whatever you're doing, whatever you do, your children watch you. They watch your act. Watch this, Curtis. No matter what kid I work with, guess who they love until the cows come home? Even when the mum, I was gonna say a bad word, you know. Even when the mum, Curtis, yeah, even when the mum or dad abuse them or treat them bad or ain't there for them, that child always talks about their mum and dad. So I'm like, I'm reading their file and I'm like, mum don't this and dad did this and dad don't this and
It's about mum and dad,
but
innit?
they're always talking about my mum and my dad and you know what, Curtis? Could they love their mum and dad? So my advice to parents, like I said before, number one, forgive yourself, love yourself, forgive yourself, all of that. But number two, remember, Sir Curtis, actions speak louder than words. It starts with you before the kid. If you want to help your kid, help yourself. And number three, Curtis, yeah, is realizing, Curtis, bro, yeah, that your children, all they want to be is you. That influence is naturally given to you by God. Period. He's given every parent the head start, the advantage over every other human being. Your children, before wanting to be like someone else, they want to be like you. Now, because that's the case naturally, children gravitate to wanting to act like us. Think about it, Curtis. Curtis, your kids don't care about sounding like you. Have you ever thought about that, Curtis? Your kids don't care about sounding like you. They don't care about that. They care about, daddy does this or, that's what daddy does. I want to do what daddy did. No. How much times have you said something and they've said, oh, I want to say what daddy said? No,
Yeah.
no one cares about that. Bro, that's my advice. Before my advice, Curtis, was all of this jargon, man. That's my advice. I know that works. That there, Curtis, that's a formula. Your kids will change. If I'm a parent, I don't change, but they must change.
No,
What?
this is it.
How
This
can
is it.
allow it, man? It's not. Curtis, you do know. It's not with the issues are not with the kids.
It's us, you know. It's us.
It's not the kids,
It's
bro.
us. It's us.
Yeah. If America goes to approve, guess who put her there?
Yeah.
Me, bro. Chris, I'm telling you that. Remember I said that to you. I don't care. People will say, oh no. I'm telling you that, bro. I put her there, bro. No, there's no way you're following the pattern of compassion and acceptance and love and affirmation and you can make mistakes. I still love you. Because you're not patterning that and your kid's gonna move wild. Their behavior is not gonna be a cry out for attachment. Come on, man. Why am I bullying if I know that I'm who I am and I love myself? People who love themselves don't put people down, bro. It's very simple, bro. We're always trying to make it seem like it ain't parenting, bro. Because we're not trying to make it seem like that's the fix. That's the fix, man. Regardless of the exceptions of the rule, we know that you might be the best parent, Curtis, and your child may go to approve. I'm not saying that might never happen, but I'm not in that game where I'm like, because of that exception to the rule.
No, that's too many odds. That's too many odds.
Thank you. Of course it is, Curtis, man. If I gave this to 10 parents, fact of facts, Curtis, bro, the majority is their kids ain't going to go down that road. If 3 do, cool, say no more. But come on, guys.
Yeah.
Let's keep it real. Look at the facts. 70% of prisons right now, Curtis, bro, in the UK, it's 70% of inmates in prison have been excluded.
Yeah.
Huh? Come on, man. That means 70% of inmates have been let down, have done something because they've been let down.
Yeah.
And now they've reoffended, gone to prison because the first offense they got excluded. My point is, it's a pattern. It's a pattern. They're trying to tell us something, but we ain't listening to it. We ain't listening to their behavior. We're not. We're listening. We're listening to something else, bro.
Yeah. We listen to ourselves.
Yes.
We're listening to our anger and our interpretation.
That's right.
Whereas we need to hear their voice when I see them acting up. It's hard, you know?
Yeah. Quick advice, Curtis, to make it practical for those that might went over their head. Let me make it come close to home so people can be like, okay, I can take that. When a child does something that angers you, and you penalize them, you smash them, you spank them, you shout at them, you cuss them, you know, and you're struck. If that's your struggle, let me help you there. When your child misbehaves, number one, we're not bypassing the misbehavior. No, sir, because we must manage that and handle that. But when a child is reprimanded and is scared and you shout and scream, this is my advice, right, to parents, right? Is to understand this. It's not you reacting to the behavior. So you didn't smash them up and you didn't shout at them because they did something naughty. You see it, Curtis? People think that. They think, what are you doing that for? You didn't see that. No, you're not. You're not shouting at the behavior. Watch this, Curtis, right? The child's behavior triggered something in you.
Yeah.
And now your anger is come to the fore and it's on display, using the behavior as an excuse for your anger. My point is this, Curtis, bro. Children's behaviors, right? They trigger what's in us. And that's why we react on them. Leading on to this one, Curtis, right there in the corner is my thermostat. Parents, you have to be in charge of the thermostat. This is where I am, Curtis, and I'm mastering it. I'm almost there. I'm not perfect, but I'm there. I was bad at this, Curtis, bro. Amira would spaz, I would shout, she'd shout. Then I'm like, then I'd shout louder, and then she'll be like shouting. Then I'll be like, and then she'll shout.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, Curtis. She's in charge of the thermostat because she's egging me on. She's spurring me to rise higher. Because when I'm in charge of the thermostat, when she goes, because I'm in charge of the thermostat.
You're controlling it.
I'm in charge of the thermostat. So that means I've got to stay calm, knowing that Amira's looking to see where I go next. Parents, my advice to you is you have to take accountability and ownership of the thermostat. The temperature in the house. Parents control that. But when kids, many houses, the kid controls it.
From day one.
Kid and parent arguing. How are you arguing with your kid? What is that? How are you going to be arguing with a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old or a 7-year-old? 16-year-old, I understand that.
As if you're the same size.
There you go.
Yeah. And that's a lack of awareness. That's a lack of training, a lack of culture, a lack of awareness.
That's it, bro.
Yeah. And then when they're 15, they're really living out what they were all along.
Thank you. And then now you're at a stalemate.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do then, Curtis. You know that, right? But there's always things you can do. But what I mean is, the comeback is going to be like, bro, that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Very, because the kid is programmed. Subconscious is made up.
Yeah. It can be turned, but it's not turned the same. You can't turn the same when they're that age. You got to turn it differently.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Some kids look like they're a write-off. Like there's no hope for them. But
there's never such thing as a write-off. Never.
It just means that the parent has to do much more inner work very quickly.
For it to be a smooth transition. The smooth transition is based on the parent. It always is, guys. If I'm still going to be at loggerheads, it's never going to work. We're the temperature controllers, Curtis. So if I'm thinking my 15-year-old is spazzing, she's moving wild, or he's moving wild, and I made this.
Yeah.
That's because of me. I wanna pounce. But guess what, Curtis?
Yeah. Collect yourself.
That's it.
And do things differently.
Yes.
Do things differently.
Therefore.
One more thing. Advice to a young person.
This is good, man. No one can tell you you're a child. I'm talking to the young person. No one can tell you you're a child. You've had to be a man. You've had to be a woman. You've had to grow up faster than they think. I get it. They don't get it. They think they say you're a child and you don't. Sorry, they don't get that you've had to mature. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm telling you, right? I'm telling you, number one, you are not your mistakes. You are not what they said you are.
Yeah.
Your exclusion doesn't mean it's over. But those who go through much end up the strongest. Those who go through much end up the best. And I'm saying that categorically. The kid who stays in school, gets straight A's, no, they won't be better than you. You will be better than the rest. Facts. Because pressure busts pipes, right? When you go through trials and tribulations and hard times and storms, you're not going to see it now. But in the near future, you will recognize, I went through this for a reason. I didn't pay for it. I didn't want it. But like, you know how it goes, Curtis, man. God always finds a way, bro, to cause things that were against us
To work
in
for
the long run to work out for us.
Yeah.
So then my last advice for that young person is this. No matter what you do, don't give up. It's hard, get back up. You fell down, get back up. They disowned you, get back up. If you are still alive today, you're still in your right mind today, my advice is for you to look back at the past 100 times you could have given up, but you didn't give up. Just do that again. Do exactly what you've been doing, because you're here today and you haven't given. If you're saying to me, Andrew, I'm going to give up right now, okay, you didn't give up yesterday, or the day before, or the day before, or the day before, or the day before, or the day before. So if you're here now giving up, come on, man, you're stronger than you think. And all I did there, Curtis, bro, was shock the senses, confuse what the brain is telling them naturally. All this self-hate. Last one, Curtis, 70% of what young people hear during the day, 70% of what young people receive during the day, this is a fact, statistic, is self-sabotaging, damning, and negative. 70%. This is, no, Curtis, this is not about you. No, period.
What are you talking about? You're talking about school, you're talking about media, you're talking about everything.
Everything. 70% of what a child is receiving every day is causing their mind to think less of themselves. Come on, Curtis, bro. There's a work to be done. This is why my advice to the young person was nothing to do with anything. All I do, Curtis, when I'm dealing with these young people, Curtis, is bigging them up. That's it. You got to be a gas bag. Got to just gas them, you know. Raw. Hey, bro, you're looking, bro, cuz. That's me, Curtis, you know. If you ever came work with me, Curtis, you know my thing already. I'm like, oh, you big man. Nah, hey, bro.
Is he just gassing me though? Is he just gassing me? Yes.
That's it. Every day, gas them.
But you know what you're doing? You're going back. You went back to the beginning. Basically, you are building back an attachment.
That's right.
Because the truth about attachment is that the answer to attachment isn't when someone has an ambivalent or avoidant attachment. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
The answer to attachments is that you can change your attachment if the work is put in.
Yes.
So children who do not trust, children who don't know how to have relationships can learn,
of course,
how to have them if we do the right work.
That's right. And the word for that, Curtis, is neuroplasticity. That's the word for that. We're not going to go into that, but that simply says the brain is moldable. That's the good news.
Can be shaped. So behaviors can change.
Curtis.
So that's behavior disruption is what you're trying to say.
Facts, bro. People are like, he can't change. I ask key questions. Do you think people can change? Yeah, get out of it. You can't work for me, bro. You can't even work for yourself. You don't think people can change? Come on, man. Science tells you people can change. The brain is built plastic, bro. Moldable.
I can tell you I've changed, bro.
That's right, man.
Speak for myself.
That's it, man. Come on, man.
Fuller.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's on the ropes today, man. You're coming back for part 2 and part 4 and 5 and 6. You get me?
Come on, man. Just hit me up, bro.
Listen, appreciate your time.
Love every time, King.
Look after the girl.
Come on, bro.
And I know that whoever was listening today, they are now much more equipped, which was the plan, bruv.
Yeah, man.
To do their job, whether they're a social worker, nurse, paramedic, working in a referral unit, teacher, everyone now knows more. Thank you.
Man. Love Curtis, man. Love everyone.
Bro, what's the name of the book? Is it out yet?
So this Curtis, bro, yeah, it's a because it's not like a storytelling book, but this is this is basically Curtis, right? It's called Behavioral Management 101.
Okay.
Behavioral Management 101. Behavioral Management, right? And this is basically a book of short. Every 101 is a page long of how to engage and interact with young people, tried and tested. And when it hits, I'm saying this for a fact, my bro, it is going to hit. Because I can boldly say there is nothing like this out there. I can honestly say that, period. Not just in the UK, this is worldwide. I can honestly say there is nothing of note that's out there that's encapsulated the work with ethnic minorities. And what I'm saying, because we run the culture.
No, man. Yeah.
We run the culture around this UK business of the Afro-Caribbean. We run the culture, you know. So whatever young people are doing, we run that. So I've formulated this management of behavior around the rulers and leaders of young people. What works with the cool kids? What works with the main cohort? How to get the main cohort, like how to get the most influential young person so that he will get the rest. Insight, not from the little guy outside. I've been in this crowd and I've written this book from the inside, not from the outside.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting you say that.
Sorry, Curtis?
It's interesting you say that because times are changing very fast. And when I say that, what I mean is I respect a man who's got a degree and a doctorate and who's done some research, but I think times are changing in that the layman is going to take hold of the reins of which direction society goes. Because society will have learned over many generations that it's the people who have their finger on the pulse that we trust. So I'm waiting for this book.
That's it, man.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Love Curtis, man. I'm going to send you the soft copy, Curtis, man. Look cool. I'm going to send it to you literally today.
Yeah. Let's work this out, man. Let's work it out. Yeah.
Stays between me and you. Stay between you, though.
I got you, man. I know how this goes.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate it, man. And bro, listen, let's keep it in these podcasts because people need to know what time it is.
Definitely
right now,
bro.
Yeah. All right, then. Listen. God bless you, man.
Love you, bro.
Look after yourselves, people. Thanks for listening. Take it easy.